Peeps, it's New Year's, so time for a video on resolutions. Okay, first, for people who want to know what I'm going to talk about, how to do a New Year's resolution, here are my steps or tips. 1. Make the goal informative and achievable. 2. Know yourself. 3. Know when you have failed or succeeded. Those are the 3 steps I'm going to be talking about in this video. So guys, it's New Year's. So let's have fun and talk about things that people do during New Year's, like the New Year's resolution, that tradition that people do where they set a goal for themselves for the new year. And let's talk about, the fact that maybe a lot of people don't actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. There is a statistic flowing around online, and I'm not sure how credible it is, but it's a statistic that says that 8% of people are actually the ones that achieve their New Year's resolution. Within that 8%, however, the population of people in their 20s achieved that resolution at about 39%, which is pretty cool. Maybe just younger people have more energy. Anyway, not the point. The point is, New Year's resolutions are a thing that maybe a lot of people set at the beginning of the year and then they kind of fall away. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember that New Year's resolutions are effectively goals, except goals that have the extra oomph of the fact that you made it during New Year's. Maybe they have a bit more significance for you. But because they are goals, you can apply the same kind of advice that most people give to goals, to New Year's resolutions. So in this video, I want to talk about how I think you can make better New Year's resolutions, or New Year resolutions that actually help you in achieving them. So let's just get right into the video. First step, make the goal and achievable. And you might be wondering, how can you make a goal informative? Well, it's a goal, right? Like, how is that supposed to teach you something? Well, no. Here's what's going on. See, in the same statistic that was flowing around online, they gathered the top 10 New Year's resolutions for 2015. Among that list, there were goals like lose weight, getting organized, spend less, save more, enjoying life to the fullest, quit smoking, learning something exciting. And these are all okay goals, except let's take into account lose weight. How are you going to lose weight? Are you going to diet? Are you going to take up exercise? Are you contemplating surgery? See, these goals are only things that you could really say they're really more long-term goals. They don't tell you anything about how you're going to take those steps to achieve it. So, if you have a case where you want to lose weight, and let's say it's New Year's Day, you decide to yourself, oh, well, I'm gonna have that burger because, it's just New Year's, I can have the burger and I'll work it off later. Okay, that's cool. So that means you're probably not going to lose weight by watching what you're eating. So maybe that means you're going to lose weight by exercising. Except maybe you never do exercise. Because the overall thing of lose weight, you're not really doing much for yourself. You're just saying something, you're just saying a consequence of mysterious actions. It doesn't help you. If you were looking at spend less, save more, how are you going to spend less and save more? Like, what are you going to spend less on? Like, you still have to buy things. You still have to buy things and you still have to spend things on your basic necessities. So maybe it'd be more like, I would not buy that second cup of Starbucks. I would save my money. That would be a way to spend less and save more, right? The point of this is that you want to, instead of having just this long-term goal, the result of all your efforts, you should break it up into smaller goals. Smaller goals that tell you exactly how you're going to get there, and smaller goals that ultimately are easier to understand. People tend to understand simple ideas better than these really abstract ideas, or really just long-term ideas that don't tell you how to reach your goal. So the point of this step, make a goal, see if it's too open-ended, break it down into smaller goals, and have each small goal tell you how to actually reach your overall goal. Make it so that you know what you're going to do. But now, to make those short-term goals, to actually make them something that means something to you, you need to do something else, and that is know yourself. You have to know yourself, fundamentally. Listen, if you know that you're the type of person who is going to tend to be lazy and say, for losing weight, maybe you'll say, I will go to the gym 5 days of the week. And okay, that's pretty good, But if you know you are a lazy person, here's the problem. If you know that you have a habit of dropping off things that you start, and most people do that when it comes to New Year's resolutions. The amount of people that dropped off of New Year's resolutions, by 6 months, half of the people that had New Year's resolutions dropped off. They were done. So if you know that you have these quirks, then it really comes to you when you're making this goal. Are you going to challenge yourself, or are you going to make allowances for yourself? Both of them are fine. The overall thing here is that we want to achieve that overall resolution of spending less and saving more, or losing weight, or other stuff. We want to reach that goal, but you need to know how to help yourself. If you're going to challenge yourself, then okay, go for it. Go for those 5 days a week. If you think you're going to fall off, make it easier. Just go twice a week. Just have a period where you just try to see how much you can do, and then make that your standard. The point is here that you want to help yourself achieve this goal as much as you can. So now you have that. This step is really all about just making goals that make sense with your lifestyle. And then whether or not you choose to challenge yourself or give yourself some allowances, it's up to you, as long as you keep going for it. And then next part, because in that step it was more about knowing what you're likely to fail on. The next step is know when you have failed. Make goals that can tell you when you have failed and when you have succeeded. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to know when you have failed? Because then you can make it better. Because then you can learn from your mistake and do better. So let's take an example again. Let's talk about staying fit and healthy. That's one of the top 10 New Year's resolutions. So, okay, you want to stay fit and healthy. Let's make a short-term goal. Let's use the gym. I will go to the gym 5 times in a week. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, the thing here is, you know when you have failed that goal, or you know when you have failed that short-term goal when the fact comes that you haven't gone to the gym 5 times a week. You know that you failed, and at that point you're like, okay, do I do better, or do I change the goal slightly to just help me out? And at that point, it's either you try again next week, and every time you fail, you'll just know that there's no way you're gonna get to your overall goal of staying fit and healthy if that's your step to getting fit and healthy. So at that point, you either change the goal or you just try and keep doing better. Let's talk about another one. Spend more time with family. Okay, this one's actually a bit easier to understand. Spend more time with family. How are you gonna do that? Are you just gonna go see them for the first week of New Year's and just kind of drop off after that? Yeah, see, you don't know when you have failed to spend more time with your family until you've gotten to the end of the year. So for that one, how about I'll spend time with my family once a month. If you barely ever see your family and you're like, I'll spend a weekend with them. That's an achievable goal. 1 weekend out of the month? Okay, great. As long as you achieve that goal, you'll probably feel better about it because you just succeeded in what you said you were going to do, and you're going towards your overall goal of spending more time with your family because you're doing it way more than you did last year. So for that one, the moment you haven't spent a weekend with them in a month, you've failed your goal. You've kind of fallen down on your resolution, and at that point you have to either figure out if a weekend's too much for you, or just figure out if you can just put a bit more effort in it. Point there is though, that you know when you have failed and you know what you can do to succeed. They are all things that should be achievable, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be setting goals for yourself that you don't know how you're going to reach. They shouldn't just be nice things that you say to yourself. You should make those goals, and you should have a plan to know how to get to that goal, and make it simple. You could have an overall goal in 5 steps between that overall goal and where you are right now, and that's okay. Because as soon as you accomplish each of the smaller steps, you are reaching that overall goal. Then when you actually stop and look back, you can be like, yeah, if you were the kind of person that wanted to spend more time with your family, great, you probably have just spent at least 12 weekends with your family. And that's probably more than you did last year if that was the overall resolution. If you wanted to just be more patient with them when you're on the phone, okay, you'll know when you have failed when you're not patient with them on the phone. See, the point is, you want goals that make sense to you. You want goals that you can very easily understand, and goals that, when you succeed, will make you feel proud that you succeed and will make you want to keep going. You gotta play that game, guys. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the video. Those are the 3 basic steps that I would say make the goal informative and achievable. Know yourself when you are making the goal, and make goals that you know when you have failed and when you have succeeded. Overall, it's a mix of having the short-term goals and the long-term goals, and that's how I think most people can succeed with their goals. Now, just for a nice little fun thing in the end, one of the top 10 New Year resolutions was also number 9, fall in love. That's not really a goal. Because that's totally dependent on you meeting a person that can actually, you can actually feel something for. I wouldn't recommend making goals like this, because you really can do nothing to go for fall in love. What can you do? I mean, you could put the positive vibe out there into the world and maybe hope for it, but that's not, if you're the kind of person that sees that you sabotage relationships still, like, maybe, yeah, okay, I will work on myself so that I could fall in love. Again, it's an issue of make goals that you could see how you could reach it. For every goal you have, you should have a map to know how to get to that goal. Because what's the point of a pirate who says he's gonna find treasure? He has no idea where to even look. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I hope you have a great day.